All right, so for our activity today in your kit, you are going to find some colored dry erase markers. Everybody has 3 markers, but they may be different colors, but that part doesn't matter. You're also going to find some wax paper, because wax paper works really good for this project. But you can also use regular printer paper or computer paper. You can even use lined school paper. They all work really good. And I'll show you when I do different things. You're also going to need either a clear glass plate, or you can use white china plates. It actually works on any kind of china plate, but you see better on a plain white plate. So if you have a plate that has a few things, pictures or prints on it, you can still use them. This is actually a pretty cool thing. So you're going to use your dry erase markers, and you're going to draw a picture on a plate. But now the trick to this is all the lines have to touch. So drawing a face on a stick person might not work very well because the face doesn't actually touch the rest of the lines. To make it work best, you just want to make all of your lines touch. I don't think that his body needs to be that long, so I'm going to make it a little shorter. This one's going to be a simple little one, just so you can see what we're actually doing. I actually did one day where I drew 2 people next to each other and had them holding hands. Now you're just going to let it dry for a few seconds, just to make sure that it's completely dry. And then you're going to add a little water. The slower you pour the water, the better for your picture, because if you make too many waves, the picture starts to move around a little too much. The flatter your plate is, the better this works. If you don't have this kind of plate or a glass plate, the other thing you can do is you can use the glass out of a picture frame. I tried this and it worked really well at home. What I did is I put my piece of glass from my picture frame in an aluminum pan from a coffee cake so that I had enough space for it to go around. All right, now as you can probably see, my little guy is moving. And this is only part of the trick, because you can actually make your little guy move around a little bit. You don't want to make him move too much, because if he moves too much, he'll start to bunch up on himself. And then you can take any of your pieces of paper. I'm going to show you the wax paper because that's what you have in your kit. Lay it on the picture, and once it's touching everything, you can just pick it up. And you can do a little. So on this plate, I did a goldfish, and I'll show you my goldfish. My goldfish at home, I actually messed up his tail when I did him at home, but I was very, very careful when I tried to fix him, and I actually managed to draw just a tail on the plate and touch the tail to the same picture I'd already made. So I'll show you that guy in a minute. But just so you can see, you can make a little smile on your fish. Because now, the other thing I did do at my house is I managed to put an eye right on top of one of the orange lines I made. And then I actually was able to make a little bit of a face. I'm going to put it this way just because the table leaning a little bit that way, and I think it'll make it float a little faster. Look at that. My goldfish is actually trying to swim. If one part, now that is, but if one part of your fish or picture seems to stick a little bit, if you just touch it with your finger, it'll come up. And now I'm showing you just school paper. Works pretty good too. And there's my little fish. So I'm going to do one more on my plate. I'm actually going to put my plate on a piece of white paper so you can see. And I'm just going to make a flower. See how I'm making sure that my circles all touch each other? And then I can fill in the middle with some yellow. And my yellow is all touching my purple too. And I'll make a green stem, making sure that it's touching. And this time, and you can see, I'm not even waiting for very long for it to dry because dry erase markers dry pretty quick. And if it's not perfectly dry, it'll still float. Sometimes you can actually watch, if you're really close, you can actually see the water get underneath it. And then these, after they dried, these are basically the same pictures I did at home. Here's my goldfish. This is the one that I messed up his tail but fixed it. Here's my flower. And once they're dry, you can give them as a gift. You can put them on your refrigerator. You can write a message. If you try to write a message on your plates, it won't work unless you're really good at writing backwards, because it's a little hard to explain, but the picture you see here, when you pick it up, it's actually backwards. Plate, some paper, your dry erase markers, and a little water, and you can draw all the pictures you want. So